to the live. I'm going to try to make this like an everyday thing as best as I can. But there are some days when I am not able to. But we'll see. You know, I'm gonna make a big effort to make this like an everyday thing. So, for everyone's benefit, hopefully everyone benefits. So we'll just wait along until people start rolling in now. Let me know if everyone is able to hear well. Appreciate the information. I heard rumors. You know, as I'm waiting here, hello for that one person. As I'm waiting here, I'm probably just going to like start going through my comments and start answering those as I go. Hey man, audio sounds great. Sup, Fred? I plan to enlist in the army in 3 to 4 years. What is the enlistment for serve? I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it is around 6 years. Because I think you gotta do 2 years, so it's 4 years, but with 2-year extension, because the first 2 years, you're in like the training mode, and then you do your other 4 years actually actively doing the thing you're supposed to do. Hey, I haven't heard you in a minute. How have you been, young man? You still in the Navy? My son is getting out next year. Glad to see you on YouTube. And this is Glenn. It has been a while. Your son has a 4-year contract. I still have 2 years left. It's almost sad to see like people come into the military like after you join and they leave before you finish. It's like that's the benefit of having a 4-year contract, right? And here I am stuck with a 5-year contract. Jakim. Hope I said that right. Jackson, Future Sailor Jackson. I leave for the June 15th. Do you have any last minute tips for me? Yes. Spend as much time with your family as you can. You know, if you're not close with your family, you know, start becoming close with your family. Go to like restaurants and stuff like that. You know, keep working on push-ups, right? Physical fitness. You know, if you are confident enough to be able to pass your PRT, PST, physical screening test, you know, that's great. Also, you know, if you don't know how to swim, make sure, you know, within this 14 days that you have here, you know, make sure you're familiar with being able to swim, because that's huge. That's huge. Jackson, do you know how to swim? Be honest with me, man. Because a lot of people, they go to boot camp, right? And then the RDCs will say, hey, how many of you know how to swim? See, a little bit, so that's not a good enough answer for me. Because here's what's going to happen, right? You go to boot camp, your first week, you send a letter home. Because by the time you get there, your graduation date is set, right? And then you go home. No, you send a letter home saying like, I will be graduating boot camp, you know, 2 months from now. So let's say August 14th of 2018, right? Example, that's not exactly how it's going to be, but just giving you an example. And then you send out a letter home saying, hey, mom and dad, I'm going to be graduating boot camp August 14th of 2018. And then obviously, if your parents do choose to come out, right, they're going to purchase a plane ticket in advance for those days, right? But if you cannot pass your swim, here's what's going to happen, right? The day is going to come by, you know, quick. And if you cannot pass your swim, right, you're going to be held back a week. Now, you know, 2 weeks before your graduation, your parents already, you know, contacted their work saying, hey, you know, my son's graduating boot camp I can't make it to work this time. I already have a plane ticket and everything. It's going to be very inconvenient for your parents to reschedule their flight and their, work vacation days within like a 2-week notice. And then the airline company is going to charge like a fee to, change your flight. So they're going to end up paying more, and they might even end up missing the flight, right? Not being able to make it to your graduation if you don't know how to swim. So within this time that you have right now, make sure you're able to swim and you're confident with swimming. All right. Did you ever see a merchant marines at base or on ships? Yes. Merchant marines. Yeah. Of course. All the time. For those of you joining in, what's up? Hello. If you're new to my channel, if this is the first time, hi, my name is Yoon. I'm trying to do this live videos a lot. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section down below. I missed it. HR, I'm trying to do for no reason, but no worries. We're back. Here we are, ready to rock it. Yo. All right. Thank you for taking the time to respond. I really appreciate the information. I have heard rumors, but I'm not sure if it's true. If it is true, but does having donation hours like community service help during the selection? I'm trying to find the best ways to prepare beforehand. Thank you very much. Welcome back, guys. For some reason, the internet crashed. Who knows why the military internet isn't the best, which is crazy because some of the grocery store internets are 10 times faster than the military internet, which is mind-boggling. The military will spend so much money on like useless crap, but they can't spend some money on stuff that matters. Did you do cranking? Yeah. Loza, are you in the military now? I assume so, because if you know the word cranking. I was in S2 for like 3 months, and then I was in S11 for another month. So, well, 4 months, 4.5 really, but I am not 100% sure. I believe it may help. Sucks. Deep sink, of course. Deep sink, trash, and especially, I don't know where you are, but I'm in the carrier, so there's always a crap ton of trash. So I was like, I took charge of the trash, so I would be the only one taking the trash to the dumpster and doing that. That was my whole day, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Those were the days, man. Physical labor was intense. James Bradley. How much longer is your boat in dry dock? My boat's not in dry dock. It's in Norfolk. Dry dock is like when you're actually not on water. Like if the ship is being repaired, right? They're gonna go into a facility where it's filled with water, and then they close up the facility and take the water away, and then the boat still, it's like held up by machine and equipment. That's dry dock. You and the Asian Persuasion. County Hall, welcome back. Fred Castle, due to my college credits, I'm going in as an E2. What's the difference between that and an E1, if there is any? Will my experience be any different? Of course, like Fred, so from E1 to E2, right, it takes 9 months to advance. So starting the time when you get to boot camp, right, it takes 9 months. From E2 to E3, it's another 9 months. So basically, in terms of advancement, you save yourself 9 months, right? Because when you hit E3 and you're trying to take the E4 exam, right? Depending on the rate, right? Some rates already give you that title once you go in, but assuming you're not, to take the advancement exam from E3 to E4, you have to wait 6 months at bare minimum, right? So you're basically saving 9 months. 9 months of and you know, you're basically giving yourself an attempt and a half for your advancement. I'm in a destroyer in Everett, Washington. I might go there. I don't know when. My ship might. Yo, you know, you're still going to make YouTube videos when you get out of the Navy? Of course. Maybe not about the Navy, you know, definitely not. I'm not really interested in making Navy videos for the rest of my life, you know. I have better things that I'm interested in on. Kavo Ovak, what's up, man? Loza, how long have you been in the Navy now? I think like a year and a half, if I can remember correctly. Maybe less than that. Striking GM soon. Go to his mates. You liking the Navy so far, man? I'm not, you know. It's been in 2 days. It's going to be my 3-year mark, and I have been absolutely miserable. Review some watches. Well, we can review some watch right here. Speaking about watches, right? You know, a shameless right hook here. So that is my. I love it being on this. So that is my other YouTube channel, right? It's the Yoon Kim Project, which is my watch channel, right? It has suffered lately because of YouTube's new 1,000 subscriber policy. So I would appreciate it if everyone went to that channel, subscribed, and then come back here and tell me that you subscribed, because that would mean a lot to me. Because my goal is, by the end of this weekend, get that Yoon Kim Project channel into 1,000 subscribers. So watch it right here. So this isn't the best watch, right? It's a G-Shock. One thing I really like about it is the LED lights, right? It's very bright. But one thing I don't like about it is the alarm function isn't very reliable. So when you are getting a watch, make sure you have a watch. You're getting a watch that the alarm is actually pretty good. Like, you have to test it out. So this one, right, it beeps very faintly. It goes like beep, 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 and then it dies. And there's no more. There's no like snooze function here. It just stops. So, and overall, it's very durable. You know, I highly recommend G-Shock, but you know, overall, it's just not that great. Love it being on this. Trustin Thompson, what changed in boot camp since last August? I don't know exactly, but I've heard like people are able to use their iPads now. Like, you're given iPads and then they can send emails home almost on a daily basis. That's one thing I've heard. I don't know if that's across every single division now, but some of previous videos, sorry. By the way, I am salty myself, shellback and all. Oh yeah, man. I mean, yeah, the Navy, man. Few more years. Leave for boot camp, June 4th. Do you have any inside info on the CS rate? So yes, I work closely with the CSs and I share a berthing with them. So CSs can do multiple different things, right? They can cook for the masses, right? The enlisted E6 and below, right? That's called S2. S11 is Chief's Mess, right? Chief's Mess, they only cook for E7 and above, right? They have their own little separate galley, depending on, like, I'm in a carrier, right? The Chief's Mess have their own little separate galley. I'm sure on the smaller ships, it's all the same, but the Chiefs might have their own little separate section. So that might be different, but and then you could also cook for S5, which is wardroom, so for the officers, and also you could go for the commanding officer's personal cook, at least in a carrier. So CO has his own personal cook, and you know the CO can order whatever he wants, and but yeah, CSs work extremely long hours. You know, unless you like cooking, you know, that might be different. But, you know, for me, I could never do it, man. CSs, I'd be stressed out if I was a CS. I need a good watch. Can't check my phone at work. It depends, Cavo, you know, what you're interested into, what you're interested in. All right, so I'm also reading comments here from my videos overall, because I get a lot of comments. I was S2, S11, and CO cook. James, what type of ship are you in? Thanks, and I enjoy cooking. I just graduated with a culinary degree, so I'm already used to working. Like culinary degree as in like from college? Because if that's the case, I recommend you going as a supply officer. Like, future Sailor Smith, man. Don't go in as enlisted. If you have a college degree, don't go in as enlisted. I'm telling you. I'm telling you now. If go in as an officer. My best recommendation. You can do whatever you want. You know, if that's what you want to do, you can do that. But as somebody, it's a 2-year degree. That's a little bit different, but my DI was a 75th Ranger. Okay, I've been living like this for 6 months. I've also been through opiate withdrawal from doctor's pills, personality change. I've been aggravated my whole life by socialists that hurt and fibromyalgia and estos. From almost starving to death, so yes, I would say it turns you into a raging animal kind of you will defend yourself and slight, pick on like husband. Like this comment's all over the place. I like that story. Thanks. All right. How's your PRT? Mine skipped. Got outstanding on previous. Oh, mine, I think I got like good high or something. Good medium or good high. I'm old school, Yoon, carrier midway, and guided missile cruiser 89 to 93. Oh, 93, when I was born. Thank you for your service, Mr. Bradley. Brady. It's a 2-year degree. Okay. I saw a guy try to punch an RDC as well. I was standing opposite and 3 people down. I was like in slow motion. Do you think the pay is significantly better joining as an officer? Yes. Google the Navy enlisted and officer pay chart. It is almost double. How much are you currently saving per month? My rule of thumb, my golden rule is 1,000, but currently I have not been able to do that because I'm paying for my vacation to go to Brazil. And there's been a lot of complications, so I had to switch my flight, which also costs money. Even though I sent the letter of to the American airline asking them to, and the third-party website that I used, asking them to waiver my flight change fee due to military obligations, but they decided not to do that. Oh, Brady. Mr. Brady. Tom Brady. So Brandon, yeah, I haven't been able to save as much as I wanted to, but oh man, my stupid outlet's not working properly. It's fine. But I do have investments in stocks and stuff, so those have been able to make up for not being able to save as much, as aggressive as I would like. And then also, I go home very, very frequently up to Pennsylvania from Virginia, which does cost a lot of money. I gotta fix this. Want decent amount of money on fixing their equipment for their sailors, All right. How long did it take you to boot camp from the very first moment you talked to your recruiter? So I talked to my recruiter in November-ish of 2014. And then within like a month, right, I went and talked to my recruiter. He gave me the practice ASVAB, gave me an idea, and asked me what I wanted. And then I said, you know what, I need some time, right? And basically the detailer, I think he's a detailer, or the liaison. The liaison said, how does June sound? And I was like, June sounds wonderful. Because it gave me 6 months to prepare, and that's exactly what I wanted. So, I mean, some people can do it much quicker. Like, I've seen people join and leave within a month. Some people, they can choose up to doing it over a year later or whatnot. But really, sometimes you have a choice, sometimes you don't have a choice, because it depends on the location and the availability and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, you can choose. You have a choice in when you want to go. Okay, sorry for that. Estella, what's up? What do you like about being in the military? I like the money, right? It's very easy to save a lot of money. I came into the military with $200 in my bank. Now I got, $35,000. So I've been able to utilize this opportunity very well. The people, and the luck, and the military itself, really. So the military, right? It's a very good program, but what makes it crappy is the people, right? You are going to, when you are in the military, right? You're going to deal with some of the most frustrating people in the world, and I do say that very lightly, like. That's sugarcoating it, okay? You're going to deal with very frustrating people, and you're going to be working with people and working for people that are going to purposely screw you over like they have done to me. And really, there's not much you can do. and there's not much I can do. And when they screw you over, you just have to take it, you know? And that's the most frustrating thing. And there's a range of people that you are going to work side by side with, right? So those, like I said before, those are the people that you work for. You know, they can screw you over and there's nothing you can do about it. And also what makes it worse sometimes is the people that you work with are not the best quality people, right? You know, do I work with some of the best and brightest and the most military people in the world? Yeah. And those are the people that I imagine the military to be. But there are a lot of people that are very disrespectful, are very unprofessional, and think they're like, the best and the boss, and, they can skate, they can hide and not work, and, other people will pick up for their slack. There's just a lot of those type of people, and it just ruined my military experience. That ruined my military experience by far. Just the amount of unprofessional people. They can show up late to work every single day and nothing will be done to them. They'll get a counseling shit here and there, right? They will get a counseling shit here and there, but it's not like in the military. You can't get fired, right? You can't get fired. And sometimes what makes it worse is the people at the top basically like shields these people. And I understand that, like, hey, these people are still immature, still young, they're trying to develop. You need to show them the way by not punishing them, but, giving them sugar, giving them honey, and trying to develop them as a person. But sometimes that kind of behavior enables them to keep doing it by taking advantage of it. And I just see it happen. Like, if they're late, they should be destroyed. They should be punished. If they purposely, basically, like, if they purposely, right? I've seen this one guy. In the military, right? In government computers, you can't plug your phone into the government computers, right? Because that's when you do, your phone basically installs some programs onto that computer, and it compromises the computer, right? Because phones are made in China, and when you plug something in, that basically, it's a system device from China that plugs into a U.S. computer that's dealing with all the military stuff. So that compromises the computer, and later on the ITs catch that on. But I've seen this one guy plug it in. He knows, right? In boot camp, you're taught about this. When you're in A school, you're taught about this. When you're in the military, you're taught about this. They still do it, and nothing happens. They're caught, right? But nothing happens, right? They purposely do something wrong, but nothing happens to them. That blows my mind. So, future salesmith, people are going to be the most frustrating thing when you are in the military. I mean, some people can get lucky and go to an amazing place where everybody's in a happy mood, and everyone's happy and everyone's enjoying life, and that might be a totally different experience. By all means, my experience is not going to be the same as everyone else's experience. I think I just drew the short end of the stick. In terms of, I was put into a very undesirable environment, right? A work environment. And because of the undesirable work environment, right? People within that work environment, became negative, and that just kind of trickled downhill from there. But yeah. Advice, tips about money management. Money management, just 3 things. Before you can start saving money, make sure you pay off all your debt, right? I have a friend. He bought a boat, right? He bought a boat with his friend, and the boat got stolen within 2 weeks. So he was basically $5,000 in debt, and he had other credit card debts and stuff. And he was just making the monthly minimum payment, and he had $10,000 saved up. And I was like, dude, why don't you just pay it all off, right? The boat that you're paying off, that you still have $3,000 left that got stolen, pay that off, right? The boat's stolen, you don't have it anymore, right? Just pay that off, and don't have to worry about debt anymore. And he was trying to resist it, but sure enough, Later on, he did. So number one, make sure you pay off all your debt. That was one. Make sure you pay off all your debt, right? So before you can, thrive, right, you have to be able to survive, right? So do that. Number two, for you to thrive, right, you need some kind of foundational stability, right? Which I always go with the rule of thumb, right? Save $1,000 each month when you're in the military, right? When I first joined the military, I got paid like my first paycheck was like $1,500, and it started to increase to 1,600, to 1,700, 1,800, to now like 1,900, and soon enough it's going to go up to like 2,300, something like that. So a good steady increase, and then I'm going to go even more aggressive and start saving $2,000 a month, right? So yeah, over time, bare minimum, save $1,000. So get rid of debt, start saving $1,000 a month, and making sure you're stable. And number three, since your pay is being raised, I'm E4. And number three is like 2 years after, right? So I started investing last year, last April, 2017 April. So that was a year and 8 months after I joined the military, right? Yeah. I started investing, and, I've been investing for a year and 2 months now. And within that time, since I joined the military, I've been always reading up on investing and educating myself and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not advising you to invest, right? This is just sharing with you what I did. And with the money I saved up, I invested it, and within that time till now, I've been able to make extra $7,000 through my investment. So that helped me be able to afford vacations every year. Because as much as I save, right, I like to spend and relax, and I don't go too overboard. But I think it's very important that that you take some time off to reset your mind and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, those three things: get rid of debt, start saving money, then find your way of investing, whether it's buying and selling, stuff, whether it's stocks, whether it's going all on YouTube, right? I make about $200 a month. I need to buy real estate, whatever your path may be, figure that out and then work towards that. Skaters, I had them. Exactly. Campus mask and first offense. That's very understandable. DRB, yes. So, Jamie. So one benefit of being out at sea, right, being on a sea command, so my ship is out at sea, right, is once you hit your first year at sea, you only get paid $50 every month. And then your second year at sea, I think it was like $75 a month. And then close to your third year, it starts to become like $100 a month. And then, once it hits your third year mark at sea, so my third year at sea will be in September, then my premium sea pay kicker comes in, and I think I get paid like $350 a month for being out at sea. And also I have like other qualifications that also give me about extra $150 each month while I'm at sea, only when I'm out at sea. So that's like extra $500. And then I picked up E4, so that the pay is going to increase. And then I scored on the 91 percentile, so I should be getting paid within the next 2 to 3 months, a little bit earlier than most people, because I scored pretty high. So yeah, my pay's gonna look pretty nice soon, but not as nice as officers, by the way. Just saying. Do you invest high risk? No, I invest fairly safe, Mr. Brady. I have let me look at it now. I have Apple. I have 14 shares of Apple, 250 shares of Bank of America, 80 shares of Disney, 200 shares of Eli, 21 shares of Facebook, Facebook did pretty well today. I was thinking about selling it, but I have a sell call at $195. I don't do options. I just do shares. I have 200 shares of GNC, which is just I guess that's like the highest risk stock that I have. I just threw $600 at something that could potentially pop off like in 10 years in the future, or it could basically go bankrupt because they're in so much debt. And but yeah, I just have 200 shares in GNC, 48 shares in KHC, which is Kraft Heinz, and then 93 shares in L Brands, which is the parent company behind Pink, Victoria's Secrets, and Bath and Body Works. What do you recommend doing in between the time of swearing in and shipping to boot camp? Fred Castle. Spend time with your family, save as much money as you can. If you don't know how to swim, make sure you know how to swim. If you can't pass your push-up test, make sure you're able to pass your push-up test. Physical fitness test, like running a mile and a half, push-ups and sit-ups, you know. But the biggest thing is spend time with your family, because once you're in the military, unless you're lucky enough, right, but most likely you're not going to be able to spend as much time with your family as you would like to. I think in a year, in total days accumulated, I spend like only 20 days with my family at best. And I go home pretty often. Maybe that's a little undermining it. Maybe like 25 days, because I'm in Virginia right now, Pennsylvania, 5 hours drive, or 10 hours by bus, or 7 hours by train. But there's multiple different ways I can go home. But is GSM a good rate? I don't know what GSM is. GSM rates. Maybe. Gas turbine system technician, mechanical. I don't know. Awesome, thanks. You got it. A quick right hook here. If you haven't already, I highly recommend. Oh, well, it's a favor. Do me a favor. Go to that channel. It's my channel. It's my watch channel. Subscribe, and then come back to me and say you subscribed. I would very appreciate it. The YouTube put out this new policy where a channel, you're going to be paid advertisement money for a channel that has a minimum of 1,000 subscribers. So my channel over there has a video that's just absolutely killing it, almost 800,000 views, but I'm not able to monetize it because it doesn't have 1,000 subscribers. So I don't ask for your money or nothing like that, like other people. All I ask is just go there, subscribe, come back, say you subscribe, and I would very much appreciate it. Are you still in the Navy? Yes, I am. All right. Thank you, Fred. It means a lot, man. It really does. Who cares? The instructor tries to intimidate me, and I learn the lesson being taught. Learn something thing also. Kavo Ovak. I never realized MX, you've unsubscribed. You know what? Maybe I should just hide user on this channel. I can do that. I have the power at the fingertips, on my fingertips. Kavo. I never realized the Kavo Ovak is the reverse of Kavo. Mr. Brady, here is the link. You should be able to access it. Yeah. It's called Yoon Kim Project. Yeah. I was messing with you too, bro. Yoon Kim Project. Oh, shoot. Yoon Kim Project. Not with a Y. Can we see some b-boy vids? I haven't breakdanced in a while. You can find it in my channel. I used to have a very viral YouTube video with me dancing, but I accidentally deleted it. Like 8 years ago, this video had about 50,000 views. So imagine if I kept that video now, that video would have had, that's 10 years ago. That video would have had a million views, over a million views if I, there you go, ready? If I kept that video. Damn man, one of your videos has like 700 views. Yeah, that video like every month generates $100, but I'm not able to monetize it because, you know, YouTube has this new policy. Do a move now, Pedro. Good. I subscribe, shipmate. Thank you, Mr. Brady. Do you have a significant other in the military by chance? Mike, I'm not married, but I have my girlfriend, Estella, whom I will be seeing soon in Brazil. And I'm excited to go to Brazil and be on a vacation. So we have a long distance relationship. She lives in Brazil. She goes to school and works in Brazil. You on your free time currently, if so, you on your free time currently. I am on my free time. If so, how often do you get it deployed on ship, living near base? Jamie, I'm trying to dissect, I'm trying to understand your question. So I live in the ship. I live in the ship. Do you recommend having a girlfriend in the military? Yeah. If you're a guy, right? It's better than having a boyfriend in the military, right? Unless that's how you roll. I live in the ship. Could I choose to live outside the ship? Could I request it for PPV or barracks? Yes, but I prefer to live inside the ship because I don't have a car and I don't plan to have a car. I just save money on transportation and save time on transportation. Some people can't take it living in the ship, but you know, for me, I'm able to take it because I still have the sanity of knowing that it's only temporary, and you know, I'm going to probably miss living in the ship after I get out of the military. So, and my ship currently doesn't get deployed. My ship doesn't, you know, currently get deployed. It will deploy at some point. I can't tell you when, nor do I really know when. But if an active ship could get deployed at any time, do you recommend having a girlfriend in the military? Yes. I mean, because they say 100% your girl will cheat on you. Only if, Pedro, you are dating a girl that is likely to cheat on you. Food for thought. If you date a girl with high values, high moral values, I should say, most likely they won't cheat. Everybody has their moment of weakness, but you know, as long as you find a girl with a good moral character, good moral values, and you trust, it's no problem. Like my girlfriend's in a different country, and you know, I don't have any problems. I'm almost done paying off my Land Rover. What do people usually do with their possessions? What do you mean? Like, it depends what type of possessions you're talking about. If you have a car, you know, then Beast Boy, didn't you see my Brazilian snack video? She's in there. Go to, you know what, let's experiment. I'm kind of upset that my video is not front page in the Brazilian snack video search. Brazilian snack review search. It's probably because the amount of, it's probably, I kind of understand why. It's probably because of the minutes consumed is so low. For those of you who don't know what my girlfriend looks like, here it is. cars, furniture, etc. I mean, Cabo, if you live with like a family member, or if you have, you could. I mean, if I was in your position, I'd sell everything, right? But that's just me. But it's just probably you. You know what, Beast Boy? That's a possibility. That's always a possibility. But from my educated guess, I don't think so. Yeah, so Cabo, yeah, I would sell everything, keep it cash. Because, for example, like furniture, right? Let's say you have a furniture, it's a couch, and you join the Navy and you have a minimum of 4-year contract, right? After 4 years, that couch is going to be infested with rodents or bugs and stuff, and it's going to be outdated, and the leather is going to be dried up, and it's 4 years old by that point. Like even like Xbox, What's the current Xbox? I don't know. What's the current Xbox? I don't play a lot of console games. All right, so the internet kind of died there, but here it is. All right, everyone's still here. Everyone's still here. Cavo Ovac. For example, if you have a PlayStation 4, right? You have a PlayStation 4, and after when you're out at sea, right? When you're in the military, let's say you don't even know what's going to happen to you, right? Let's say as soon as you go to boot camp, you go to A school, and then you go to a ship that's going out to sea right away, and then it's out to sea for 9 months. That's basically a year. By that time, when you come back, PS4 is going to be PS5, and now the PS4 is going to be degraded in value. And when you're in the military, you don't have a whole lot of time to play. You can still play, yeah. Some people in the ship have like a little hole, like a TV and a PlayStation within a little box, and they plug it in, and it all works. But everything is just going to be so outdated. Like I had a lot of clothes. I've donated a crap ton of it, and I also sold a crap ton of it. Because after I used to work at Holliston, Abercrombie and Fitch, and when I was joining the Navy, I was 21 and 22. Those were kind of the style that I liked. But I'm turning 25 in 3 days, and I don't have that 21, 22-year-old style anymore. So I sold and donated everything, right? So except for a car, for me, I just gave my car to my dad, and once I get out of the military, I'll just take it back. But yeah, I just left. When I left for the military, I left with no possessions except for some of the bare minimum clothes like suits and stuff like that, and also like books that I like to read. And yeah. Why is there a computer in the gym? You can't have a computer in the dorm. So I am in a gym facility. This is within the naval base. And there is a whole separate computer lab, computer room, but this is the best place for me to get internet, so I'm just kind of here. I feel like you got dropped a lot in boot camp. Jag Productions. I actually have never been dropped. For me, like I just sat quiet, did what I was supposed to do. See, even in boot camp, right? The amount of Smith, are you still here? Where are you at, Smith? Did you leave? Smith? I think Smith left. But no, I have not been dropped a single time in boot camp. Only when the whole division was dropped because someone did something stupid, then I was dropped. But if I may make a suggestion, Mr. Brady, you can make any suggestions you want. Go to boot camp with your wallet and clothes in your back. Yeah. Yeah, travel as light as possible, because when you go to boot camp, Like some people bring like a ton of stuff, like cell phones and stuff. Like I don't know if the Navy rule is a little bit different. I think it's still the same. I know in the Army you can have your cell phone and you just put in like a lot of locker and you can make a phone call on the weekends. But as far as I still know now, you're going to send everything back home, right? So, you know, people bring so much stuff and they go to boot camp and you have to send everything back home. And that shipping cost in a box, it's like $50. So it's not worth it. Like if just wear clothing that you're going to throw away, right? And in your wallet, make sure you have written down your mom's phone number, dad's phone number, grandma, dog, sister, you know, brothers, phone numbers and addresses. And I would say maybe like $20. And you know, make sure you have your credit card, debit card, picture of your family. You know, that's always good. So yeah. What can I take to boot camp? Pedro, in Navy boot camp, you can't take anything, right? In Air Force BMT, it's different. You can take your own little toothpaste and all that kind of stuff, but Navy boot camp, you can't take anything except for your wallet. Yeah. And like your own like social security number and whatnot. Because everything will be provided for you because you're paying for it. Toothbrush, toothpaste, you know, shampoo and body wash, which is 2-in-1, shaving, you know, clothing, everything is provided for you. So, you know, there's nothing that you need. Like even your underwear, make sure you wear your least favorite underwear so you can throw it away. You don't want to wear like a freaking $60 Calvin Klein underwear and then you say, oh, I don't want to throw it away. And then you pay $50 to ship it back home in a ridiculous box. I mean, you could, right? Like, you know, for me to go to, you know, Great Lakes, Illinois from Pennsylvania, it took like 10 hours. So I could have been on my phone and enjoying life until then, you know, and then ship everything back home. I could have, you know, if that's how you want to do it, you could. But yeah. Who cares? Drill instructors. Did you choose Virginia as? Nope. I really had no choice. Just answering some comments here. Just Yoon, you're turning me off LS. Especially saying working 16 hours a day alongside at sea. That's understandable, but alongside, it's ridiculous. Do you have a portion of command on the ship? Are all ships working those long hours? Not every ship is equal. Some ships have it better depending on what phase of life the ship is in. Meaning, my ship is going through multiple inspections this year, which amps up the working hours. Some ships leave, don't have anything because those inspections were already done before you got there. It's all a matter of luck. Okay. I threw my civvies away. What? Thanks. As heavy reader, do you recommend buying an e-reader like Kindle, etc., or will there be lots of space to store physical books? Fred, you will not have a lot of space to store physical books. Fortunately for me, I'm in a carrier, so I have my locker, and you know we have what's called a cruise locker. So I'm able to store some books there, and I only have like 7 books in my locker. It takes up a very small portion of my locker. But the reason why I like physical books is because I like to like mark and write stuff down to a stack of like 3 books and just kind of go through and look at the glossary and whatever I feel during that time. Like if I'm feeling like I'm trying to innovate with like social media or something like that. I'll read like 3 books and I'll gloss through the index, and so I have a lot of options when it comes to reading like that. But when it comes to ebooks, I have to like. But at the same time, it saves a lot of space, and it could be great. But my ship also has a library, so the books are free there also. So I kind of have benefit of that. But so I am going to close it out in like 3 minutes. If you have any questions, make sure you post it now, or forever hold your peace until like Saturday. I won't be able to do a live tomorrow. We'll just not have the time. What? Thanks. Okay. Do you know other military YouTubers? Yes. Donnie, DWK videos. We've talked a bit. JT Suits, him and I, we talked on the phone for a bit. Nikki MGTV, him and I, whenever we get the chance, we'll collab here and there. But I don't know if I'll able to see these people unless I get out of the military. But the most, I guess, close military YouTuber would be a plug here for Traveling with Jose. Here is his channel. Go to his channel. He's traveling. He's done a lot more travel than I have. He's been a lot luckier being in the military and traveling than I have. I've been in Virginia for 3 years, and I'll still be here for another year. So by the time I can actually go anywhere through the military, I would have been in Virginia for 4 years, not going anywhere. But Jose, on the other hand, had been lucky enough to be able to go into multiple different countries through the military. So I highly recommend you check out his channel. Go there, subscribe, and leave a comment in his video saying, Yoon told me to go here. Yeah, him and I, we collaborated. That video is still in the works of editing and finding the time. He's very busy right now, so we're gonna find the time to upload it simultaneously. So just waiting for that. What can you tell me about CT rates? Not much. All I know, I have a CT friend. He got, after you come out of A school, you pick up 3rd class. And then, CTI, I know that as to be, one of the more interested rates that I'm interested in is CTI, learning a 2nd language or 3rd language for some of you who are bilingual already. Because the Navy pays you, you don't have to have a relative background experience, right? The Navy will put you through school to learn a different language. So if you want to, right, you could go in as a CTI for Russian or German or Chinese, whatever other languages there are that the military has to offer, and you just translate throughout your military career, which is one of the most interesting rates that I wish I had chosen, but I just never had the opportunity because there was nobody like me telling people to do that. So, all right, so I'm about to close it out here pretty soon, guys. I want to tell everyone going to boot camp the most important 3 words, in my opinion, to take heart is attention to detail. Attention to detail. Attention to detail. To boot camp, yes. Gotta go. Enjoy the rest of your evening, Yoon. Cabo, you got it. All right, so if no one else has any questions, thank you for hanging out with me today, guys. Going to walk to my ship now because this facility closes in like 2 minutes. So Fred later, Pedro later, Mr. Brady. Have a good night. All right, guys. Have a good night, everyone.